What is up, everybody? This is Keith, Go Get a Guy 231 across the DFS industry. Hope everybody did have a good, what the heck day is it? Friday. We had Spain, Switzerland, and then just a really entertaining game, Italy and Belgium. It's crazy. Just a quick recap. I don't love to go recaps, but, personally I had Murata, had Sarabia, Koke from the first game, and then landed on Torres. I thought I was toast, but kind of looked below me, thought more people were more toast. Decided not to move. Finished out, had Insigne, had Munir, had Donnarumma, and then big thing for me was having Verratti, thinking that he was going to split sets, cash. So just, I guess moral of the story, why I'm saying it is, even if you feel like you're toast from a few players, look at the ownerships. These is cash more than GPP, right? If you have a couple of duds in GPP, you're probably dead. You get really, really low and really weird. But in cash, few duds, you can probably recover from it as long as those duds are popular. Scour through. I saw so much Simone that I thought that it might be okay if Donnarumma had a good game, and there we have it. So let's hope we have a good can get on some good plays today. Maybe be our Saturday. Maybe be less stress. So quick reminder: like, subscribe, comment. All really does help. Last classic slate, so let's make it a big one. I'm hoping to be up there in terms of the big GPP. So let's take a look. First game, Czech and Denmark. Let's kind of like just start out with this. And second game being Ukraine and England. Denmark at this point is probably the most DFS-friendly team, one of the most DFS-friendly teams in the competition, and certainly the most DFS-friendly team tomorrow. They come into the game as a slight favorite at plus 110. The total in this game is slightly under at 2.5, but I do think there's going to be some scoring here. So let's start with Denmark. I think the biggest thing we're going to look for right away is if Daniel Wass is starting or if Stringer Larsen is starting. Regardless of who starts, they are probably on the set pieces for Denmark. Just happens that Stringer Larsen does so much more crossing and open play, and also seems to cross a lot more of his corners than Wass does. It seems like they have a lot of short corner routines with Wass. Regardless, I would say whoever starts at that right wing back position, whether it's Wass or Stringer Larsen. By the way, if you say Wass too many times, like screws with your mouth and makes you someone say Wass on like for everything. So if I screw up coming, but you should try it. Get in front of camera and you try it too. But Daniel Wass or Stringer Larsen, whichever one's right wing back, to me, they're a core play. Lock and load, move on. All right. Joachim Male, I think is the way you say it, but regardless, plays right wing back for Atalanta, left wing back for Denmark. It's been sensational. You could arguably say he's like probably one of their most prominent attackers. Shout out to the FSI Discord. We make a joke the whole Euro tournament that there's some amazing power in the Discord when you tilt a guy that he immediately scores a goal. The last game at halftime, we tilted Brathwaite and Mahale, and they both scored a goal in the second half. So hopefully similar tilting going on tomorrow because I will have Mahale in my lineups. I think he's the class defender on the slate. He's a lot more expensive than Wasser, Stringer, Larsen. Maybe a little less floor, but his attacking very much makes up for it. I'm definitely finding a way to fit both Denmark wingbacks into my cash lineup. Damsgaard is a damn good player. Plays for Sampdoria, probably is going to get another move. He doesn't have like a great floor in terms of crossing or the ways that we love to see guys have floors, right? But he's still going to shoot, so there's some goal equity. And he's just been a great creator without Christian Eriksen. So Damsgaard, very solid play. Probably lean more GPP than cash. I haven't found a way to get him to cash, but if I landed there, would be fine. Big decision on the slate, and just the entire slate truly is going to come down to forward. I think that there is probably 5 guys total, assuming that, England doesn't surprise us with Sancho or Rashford or something. But your 5 guys in cash consideration at forward are Martin Brathwaite, Kasper Dolberg, Patrick Schick, Harry Kane, and Raheem Sterling. And realistically, like the reason that guys like Dolberg and Schick are on there is none of these guys have like any sort of sensational floors. Nobody has a double-digit floor. Brathwaite probably has like a 5 to 60K floor, probably. But, even at his price at 5 to 6, that's not getting you there. Not when you're paying whatever it's like 8,400 for him. So, you're going to have to pick the guys that you think have the most goal equity, are going to be part of either scoring or assists to me, I think I'm likely to try to maybe get, I was going to say like at least one guy from Denmark and one guy from England. I don't even know if I'm going to do that. I don't know if I'm going to prioritize England. Both of my forward spots might get burned in this game. Like, you know, I think Denmark is very, very willing to concede here, or very likely to concede. So I don't mind Patrick Schick at all. I definitely think Czech is going to concede. So don't mind Dolberg, don't mind Brathwaite. I think Brathwaite, if I gun to my head, who am I going to play? Probably Brathwaite, but you know that this is 10:01 p.m. Eastern on Friday night. 10:01 East or 10:01 a.m. Saturday morning could be completely different. But right now, Brathwaite I think would be my favorite forward, but I can make arguments for any of them. Dolberg, you know, the only problem is that like you look at Denmark's bench, you know, they have Jonas Wind, they have Cornelius, they have a lot of different strikers that could come in for him. Not so many guys that can do what Brathwaite does. Højbjerg, you know, he was popular last slate. His game logs are going to make him popular. There's no real floor there. Good player, but, you know, no set pieces, middle of the park. You know, he does kind of drift into these areas where he can get some crosses in, but, you know, not a priority. Rest of Denmark are alive and like they're there, but there's nothing that makes any of them like have a special floor or anything like that. If you land on any of them and you do like them, go for it. Nobody that priority for cash. All right. For Czech Republic, we have probably the chalkiest player on the slate is Barak, assuming that we do not see Dorita and we do not see Junko, I think is how you say his name. Barak took all their set pieces, talented player for Verona and Syria. Somebody I used to play a decent amount in Italy because he's always cheap, and you know that was without set pieces. Now he has set pieces. It's only like 3,800. So yeah, you're gonna play him everywhere. Even if you see like Dorita in, they probably still split sets. And it's sub 4K for an attacker. Like even if he didn't have sets, you're thinking about it. And also, like I was watching the game, those guys with like the low shin guards, like you know they have like a little bit of swagger about them. So Brock wears low shin guards or like almost no shin guards. So he definitely like looks like he thinks he's like the man when he's out there. You know, you always like that. Sevcik is a guy that I actually thought would take set pieces. You know, I just couldn't get to him, so I got lucky to be on Barak last slate. But you know, if all of a sudden it switches up, it's fine. But he's a fine player. Sushek, always a set piece threat. I think he's cash viable. Massapes, not like my favorite. I think he's fine because he's so cheap. But he's a guy that like you look and you're like, how can a guy playing right wing like not get a fantasy point for 50 minutes? That's Massapes. But then, you know, all of a sudden it's 2 crosses, a shot assist, and you're like, oh, I'm good. And then, you know, another 15 minutes elapsed and you got nothing. Patrick Schick, one of the leading goal scorers of the tournament. It's been awesome. Probably been one of the breakouts of the tournament. I think he's 100% in play here for cash. Kaderberg, if he starts over Borrell, he's a very attacking left back. That probably maybe pushes Kufal a little bit back, who can do a little bit more on the defensive end. But this has been Jan Borrell. I don't know if he's out. It's interesting that they don't have him projected to play, but these two would both be attackers. Kufal, I think, is a really nice play. I've seen him a lot get into very, very advanced positions for crosses, so he works. I do think I should mention Thomas Holes was probably man of the match versus Denmark versus Netherlands. If you actually go through his domestic league, he scores a lot of goals. So he almost feels like he might be like a Sushek type that, you know, just kind of has an eye or a nose or whatever body part the term is for goals. But you know, I think you could do worse for punts. Like Czech Republic is your punt team, and it's not a bad matchup. Like in this stage of the tournament, for them to be up against Denmark and to be plus 280, like they're very live to win here. So I think that this game in general is just by far my favorite. You could have a decent amount from this game and not feel bad. All right, Ukraine versus England. This is not going to take nearly as long because England, despite being one of the biggest favorites every single game, despite having some of the most attacking talent in the entire Euros, they simply just do not produce DFS goodness. Gareth Southgate does not produce a very attacking brand of football. You know, obviously that's been something that has been, you know, a sore spot for a ton of English fans, but reality is they're producing results. So, you know, he's not going to change. So the rumor, you know, as of tonight is that it's going to be 4-3-3. You know, Jordan Henderson in for Declan Rice. I don't really know the reason. I might have missed it. I'm maybe assuming Declan Rice is just needs a little bit of a break. I don't know. But if Mason Mount is back in to the rotation, Mason Mount is the easiest play on the slate. Actually, Barak is the easiest play on the slate if you don't see Dorita. And then it's Mason Mount, easiest play on the slate. Just lock and load. Should be a majority of set pieces. You know, if Luke Shaw took some of the outswingers, you know, it wouldn't be shocking, but I think it'll be Mason Mount both sides. Just lock and load almost every lineup for me. Only English guy with a floor. Raheem Sterling has scored all but one goal for England. I think obviously at the forward position, if you're going for goal upside, you know, he and Schick are probably the top two. You know, I'd still go ahead and produce or play Sterling over Kane. I just don't think we can, despite it being Harry Kane, right? I don't think that we can call Tottenham Harry Kane this version of Harry Kane. The only time he's really getting the ball is when he drops really, really deep. Like, so he comes all the way back here to get the ball. England's just not providing a lot of width. It just gets really, really compact. If you watch the games, it's just like really compact. And, you know, where Sterling and like Saka are the type that have really, really quick moves. That's not Kane's style. Like, Kane wants, you know, his wing guys to do a lot of the dirty work for him. Then he can use, you know, in my opinion, his best attribute is his understanding of the game, you know, and just the feel to know where to be. But when you get just a ton of bodies in there, it does not suit him well. So, you know, I say all this, he's going to score a hat trick, of course. But I think I'd prefer Sterling to Kane for cash, you know, GPP, you know, go whatever. Just at this point, just know that, like, you know, it's not Tottenham Kane where, you know, the amount of shots he gets off gets you a double-digit floor. No, like, this is goal or bust here, Kane. Saka's fine. You know, the fullbacks, if it's a back four, the fullbacks are instructed not to overlap. Like, they don't overlap at all. So Luke Shaw is okay, but, you know, if it's not going to be Luke Shaw crossing the ball, like, even as wingback Luke Shaw was not great without the assists. So I don't think back four Luke Shaw is something I want to sign up for. Maguire and Stones are very live for headers. I think you could do much worse. And England doesn't allow goals. So, you know, realistically, they are very live for clean sheet. Then Jordan Pickford, I don't really like talking about goalie, but I think in cash, if he's 75% owned, I won't be shocked. You know, again, England has not been giving up goals. Czech versus Denmark is very close. So I just think a lot of people gravitate towards the security of Jordan Pickford. And GPPs, if you know a goalie is 75% owned, like, that should be automatic cue for a lot of your lineups that you need to be underweight. Goalie is so variant, only takes one moment. You know, all it takes is one own goal to wreck a goalie. So anytime you hear a goalie that owned, you probably should be fading. For Ukraine, not much here. I would assume, it doesn't have it on this lineup, I would assume Malinowski maybe finds his way back in. But if he doesn't, Yarmolenko and Shaparenko should be splitting sets. Don't worry about the set pieces, in my opinion, for Ukraine. I wouldn't value them. I think I was a little harsh, actually. I think Yarmolenko should be considered in cash consideration at forward. You know, while England's not allowing goals, they have been fairly generous for some DFS production. Like, I think about the Scotland game that we thought England would dominate, and you had guys like Andy Robertson had double-digit crosses. Che Adams should have had, you know, a goal or two. So I think Yarmolenko's live. Yaremchuk will be like probably the lowest owned forward on this slate. So, you know, maybe that's a good one. Fade Pickford, you know, take the goal-oriented guy. Zinchenko was phenomenal last game. He's, you know, if he plays left wing back, I think he's live, but he's getting pretty expensive for being the biggest dog. So I'll probably pass. I didn't bring up totals here. Total way under 2.5. So was it last one over? No, it was still under. Okay. It made me think for myself. So yeah, nobody else really here. Kiraviev, I guess, is fine. But again, I'm not going out of my way for Ukraine guys here. Okay. That should be about do it. Let me just recap. Like, my favorite plays / my core would be Mason Mount. It would be Daniel Wass or Stringer Larson, whichever one starts. And then Mahale from Denmark. So give me 2 Denmark wingbacks plus Mason Mount is where I'm going to start my lineups. And then, you know, for cash, I think Jordan Pickford will be incredibly popular. Might be outside like Mason Mount. Might be the most popular. Oh, I'm sorry. I screwed up the score. I'm going to give you a bonus. So I said to both Denmark wingbacks, I think that if he's in, Barak is a lock. So, you know, you got Barak, you've got Mason Mount, so there's your 2 midfield positions. I think it's the right wingback from Denmark is a must because they should have set pieces. So whether that's Wass or Stringer Larson, and then left wingback should be Mahale. So there's 4. So enjoy the bonus. Last classic slate, so might as well give bonuses out. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm going to keep doing the videos for Showdown. Showdown there's a little less strategy involved in terms of, I guess, all the players to go over, but a lot of strategy with your captain choices, with your game scripting, things like that I'll try to go over for the next one. But guys, thank you all so much for watching. Reminder, I didn't get prize picks up today. I thought the lines were really tough. In hindsight, just do the Spain ones and you would have done great. But I will try to get some prize picks up tomorrow morning. Hopefully my real job slows down a little bit so I have more time to look. But just a reminder, if you are interested in our awesome partners at PrizePick, another way to play DFS, use promo code FSI. You get $100, match up to $100. So great way to start off your winning there. Thank you all once again. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All of this help. And with that, I'll say, see you.